If you're a lower middle class income earner and you like to spend money, but you're also not trying to work until you're 80, here are the five financial pillars that I think everybody should live by so you can meet your financial goals, but still enjoy the life that you're living right now. So you can't see it from this angle, but laid out in front of me is easily $1,000 worth of journaling, planner, and stationery supplies that I've amassed over the last 5 to 10 years. And this is only a portion of what I actually own because a lot of it's still at my childhood home back in California. My friends and family have always made fun of me because there were points in my life where I was getting Amazon packages on a weekly basis, if not more often. And I'll be the first to admit it. I like to spend money, I like to have nice things. But I will say, as much as I like to spend money, I also like to make money. In that vein, I've been able to hit all of my savings goals in the last 3 years, despite having vastly variable income. Highest job that I have been paid in the last 4 years is $100,000. The lowest is $30,000. These five principles have really guided how I spend money and save money so that even when I was making $30,000 and actively draining my emergency fund, I never felt stressed about money. Probably the most important thing that you can do is to just be realistic. Set realistic goals for yourself. If you are making $100,000 a year, you can do things like max out your retirement account, max out your Roth IRA, and contribute to your emergency fund and your sinking funds all at the same time. But you're not going to be able to do that if you're only making $30,000. The point is to be realistic and do what you can and consistently do those things. The second thing that I do when starting a new job or moving to a new city is I will calculate my monthly expenses around what I'm trying to save. After I've set my realistic goals, I will find a take home paycheck calculator. There's one on ADP that I really like. And you'll basically put in all of your information, what state you're living in, how much you're making, what are your deductions, what are your retirement contributions, and it'll tell you how much money you get to put in your pocket after all of those deductions have been made. I also think it's a really good tool to help you back calculate how much you can feasibly contribute pre-tax. So when I was making my $30,000 a year and I knew that I needed X amount of money to pay for rent and groceries, I used that calculator to determine how much could I contribute to retirement and still have enough to feel okay. Number three is to automate anything that can be automated, whether that be your retirement contributions pulling out from your paycheck, splitting your direct deposit into two different accounts, setting your credit cards on an auto pay, your student loans on an auto pay. It's just a lot better to have these systems in place so you don't have to think about it and then there's no chance that you're going to miss something. You're enforcing the behavior and you're getting so used to not even seeing the money in the first place that you don't even notice that it's gone. That being said, automating doesn't mean set it and forget it. This is a bad habit that I have too. Sometimes when money is getting pulled out of my account so consistent, and like this is the thing with subscriptions, right? It's like $6 a month, $6 a month, $6 a month, and eventually your brain tunes it out, and the next thing you know that you've spent $72 that you could have contributed to your credit card bill or something like that. Automate it, but don't forget that it's there. In order to help me remember where all of my dollars are going, I keep a very strict log of all of my expenses in a budget template that I made. So I have spaces for my pre-tax income, my tax withholdings, how much I'm contributing to retirement. I have a bucket for savings. I have a way to keep track of my sinking funds. And then I log all of my daily expenses. I think this is a pretty popular method of budgeting right now, especially if you're a really data driven person. Now that I've been doing this consistently for three, I think 4 years now, I have a good idea of what I typically tend to spend money on. Like I know I spend about $400 on groceries every month, and I know that I spend maybe like $80 on coffee and snacks. Doing the monthly tracking also just helps me kind of see big picture how your finances change through the month and through the different seasons of life. It's also been really important for me again because my income has been so variable. Last thing is to make more money, right? Everybody always says it. Like you can't save your way to $1 million. It's just not realistic. Like the best thing that you can do is to make more money and or invest more money, depending on what your priorities are. There's really two ways to go about it. Number one is to make more money at your main job, or you've got to get a second job or a side hustle. The career field that I'm in, I'm lucky in the sense that I can pick up extra shifts or do work that is directly related to my degree. It's kind of tiring, and it would be really nice to make money in a different way. Not always the most fun and not always the most sustainable to basically be working your main job 6 days a week. But once again, we're going back to the topic of consistency. And I know that I can lean on this to help make ends meet if things are feeling tight. If I didn't have that as an option, then I would be looking into things like Instacart. I feel like would be so much fun. I feel like I'd be really good at that. Um, like dog walking, Uber Eats, TaskRabbit if you feel safe enough doing that, especially if you're somebody who's on the lower spectrum of income. There's only going to be so much that you can save. And so whatever your circumstances may be, I know it's shit out there right now, but realistically, if we're trying to be as aggressive as possible, the best thing that you can do to save more is to make more. And this is not to say you need to be doing all of these things at once. These are financial foundations that I learned over 5 to 7 years. Things like this aren't done overnight. You have to build up your wealth, your foundations, your safety net. And it took me probably 4 to 5 years to get to where I am now, where I feel fairly comfortable. Obviously, I'm not making a ton of money, but I'm happy with my circumstances and I've kind of established a strong enough foundation that I'm not too worried. Obviously, it would be nice to make more, but I'm comfortable with where I am now, and anything beyond that is kind of just like materialistic greed. Hopefully, this covers everything. I did not script this video. I just gave myself a rough outline and then went with it. So let me know what you guys think. As always, I appreciate you hanging out with me and spending your time. Definitely let me know below what you think about these pillars, or if you have anything that you would add or anything that you would change or anything you disagree with. Little template that I showed on the screen is the spreadsheet that I made and I use personally. I'm always tweaking it, but I have like a version that I give out to my friends. So if that's something you guys think you'd be interested in, just let me know and I can share it with y'all. If you like things on this topic, I think I have a lot more that I can talk about. I will see you next week. We're just doing a little bit more reflecting and setting up for 2026. Bye.